You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network.
So today is the last Monday of the month of July. I can't believe we are already heading straight forward to the last few months of this year already. And it's not been like the worst time. It's just been a fast moving time. And which I think is going to give a lot of reflection for a lot of people looking up and realizing that we're already in August. And today's segment has been a trivial moment for me because I've been back and forth all day about various aspects of, just what I wanted to say today. And I think that for the most part, there's been a lot of activity and movement. We're getting ready to encounter a new full moon. We're in retrograde. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. You might have had technology issues, connection issues, internet issues, just something that has been kind of going haywire. You're not tripping. It's happening everywhere. And for the most part, there's also been, these energies that just kind of loom around that you might have sensed that as well. Once again, if you're not familiar with retrograde, you might want to look it up and kind of have a concept of understanding what that may be in terms of how your day-to-day and interaction with other people have been. One of the things that has resonated today with me is making sense of just moments of different things, and which came to give me some subject matter today of saying make every moment count, because there's been a lot of transition happening. 2023 has been a transitional year of activity, and with that being said, I feel like it's that year that's telling you to catch up and to prepare and to get ready, because there's things that are happening a lot quicker than we realize. For a lot of the world is aware there's strikes going on with writers and actors, the SAG, and I'm out here in California, so that's been a big dynamic happening in this part of the universe. And you can feel the movement of changes with AI that has been unrolled quickly, and how that is resonating into different industries and how it's counteracting in our lives. Just a lot of stuff, which is why I say it's important. Today's conversation is make every moment count, y'all. Let's just get right into it. Y'all know what time it is. It's Monday. It's Sonny's Monday Motivation. Let's go.
Hi, this is Cindy Lemke from the Hemet-San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here to invite you to learn more about the Chamber. We have networks ongoing, so you can join us at a breakfast at J&M Restaurant at 9 a.m. every Wednesday. Breakfast is on you, networking is on us. And then we have Women in Business, we have the Multicultural Network, and we have the Valley Nonprofit Network. And then we also have our monthly mixer. Any one of those things, you can be my guest. Give me a call at the office for more information, or just tell me you're coming. 951-658-3211, or you can check us out on the website, hsjvc.com. That's like Hemet-San Jacinto Valley Chamber.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day, and don't forget to join the Chamber and help your business grow.
You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network.
Hey girl, come stop by Double Meek Dub, located off of 211 North State Street in Hemet, California, 92543. We offer eyelash extensions, brow waxing, brow lamination, ombre powder brows, as well as 2-day lash courses, so come get meeked up.
Blue Line Enterprises, located at 1455 North State Street in Hemet, is the go-to used car and truck dealership, providing you with a great car buying experience, offering high-quality pre-owned vehicles. From the moment you walk through the door, commitment is provided to you for a great buying experience with a skilled sales staff, great financing options. We'll help you get the vehicle you want at the great price you deserve. Contact us at 951-293-3105 and feel free to find us online at BlueLineEnterprisesLLC.com.
It is very easy to be distracted and caught in your own thoughts and your own world of activities. And sometimes you may not be aware of other things that's going on around you because you may be so caught up in your own stuff. And there are certain times where you need to be. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing at all times, but there are times that I think it's important that we stop and take notice that you are in the midst of other people and other things and other activities and other surroundings and other energies that are happening at the same time that you're doing your life. And so, prime example, today, Pee Wee Herman. I don't know if you guys remember Pee Wee Herman. Depending on your age, you may or may not know who he is. But Pee Wee Herman passed today. And he was a super popular, his real name is Paul Rubens. And he died, he was 70 years old today. But pretty much everybody knows him as Pee Wee Herman. And he was pop culture. 80s, 90s. He even had a dance that was called the Pee Wee Herman. And he was over the top. You would see him in a suit and bow tie. That was his signature look. And he was a character in itself, right? And he, I can't believe he's 70 years old. He had been around a long time and made such a huge impact in television and in film, and he was just someone that either you loved him or hate him. But most of all, I think that he made a career of bringing humor to people, and I think that that stands for something. You know, he stood in his purpose. For whatever many things, I'm sure that him being Pee Wee Herman was not the only thing that he accomplished, but it was a huge thing that resonated with a lot of people around the world. And I think for many of us, we've been experiencing a lot of transition in the world of our pop culture world. There's been quite a few people. I'm not just going to say Pee Wee Herman was the only one. There's been quite a few people. I know Tony Bennett died sometime last week. So I say that to say how important it is to maximize, what we're doing. We all are given 24 hours in a day. We're all given an opportunity, as long as we're here taking a breath, to do something. So what are we doing with our moments and how are we making them count? Right? Now, I'm just going to be honest. Today, I just felt like my moments were fleeting. You ever had those days when you're just trying to stay on task. You're working to try to get things in a realm of control of how you want them to go, but they just seem to be in a mind of their own at times. And it's been that kind of day for me. And it's later evening. I usually broadcast a lot earlier in the day, but today I just could not get myself in a settled enough space to really conversate, this message, or to even communicate what I felt like resonated with me. But I did make sure that I allowed myself enough room to maybe stop and maybe reassess what I'm doing in that time period. Realign with the things that I wanted to accomplish, even if there were some things that may have stunted my moment or distracted me to a degree, or I just may have went left instead of right, and that's okay too. The biggest thing though is that, are we maximizing the time that we're given in a way that is serving us? And for me, I got to be honest, I had some levels of frustration because I was not on task as I would have liked. I had a very early start this morning. And because I had an early start this morning, I think mentally my mindset was to get a lot of things done today that I had initially planned out, the day before or days before. For the most part, I think a lot of us have an idea of what we want to do within the day or the following day, or within the day we'll have our to-do list or our measurement of time management as best we can. And when we don't necessarily stay within that, it can cause frustration, or it can cause sometimes your day could feel like it's being chaotic because it's just not aligning with you want it to necessarily come, for it to be or come out to be with the intention that you started with when you first got your day going. But I think that we have to give ourselves opportunity sometime to relax, because, there's not always the ability to control your time as much as we want. There's a lot of conversation that falls around that at times. But in reality, we're doing the things that we're doing the best that we can most of the time deliberately. And if you're working within a level of intention, you're doing your best to try to stay on task with whatever it is that you need to do. Now, I think that, there's other elements of our existence that are also more resounding than just our day-to-day tasks. Sometimes there are bigger things that we have on our desire or our level of accomplishments that we're looking to do. And they can be personal, they can be socially driven, they can be professionally driven. But I'm sure that there's a balance of, your things that you're doing a day in and day out that are your tasks that you're working through. But then you have bigger elements of things that are taking part of each day that is passing by. So if you have, something that is like, say, if you wanted to buy a house, that's not necessarily something you're going to get up on Wednesday and go do. There's something that you're working towards. It could be months, it could be years, it could even be decades. And only you can really distinguish what that time is. And if it doesn't happen in the time frame that you desire it to be, that does not mean that it needs to be thrown away or not seen through. It just may take a little bit longer. And even with that, I had a few things which I understand a lot of times. There's roots as to where frustration may lie, or things that are causing you to feel delayed, or your emotional scale of things. There's usually some root that is causing those elements of what you're feeling to exist. And when you can actually get to the root of what it is that may be causing those patterns of emotions or thoughts or feelings, it usually helps you to get through them a little bit better. And for the most part, I know that for me today, I just kind of had made up in my mind I wanted to get some things finalized, or at least have an idea that I was getting closer to getting some things established and done. And to a small degree, I was able to tip into some things. I definitely feel like days like this, it gives you those moments of inner reflection. Sometimes you have to stop looking at what's going on in front of you and what you're physically seeing or experiencing. And then you might need to go within a little bit more and find where, okay, let me find my space of where I can control where my emotions are going, because the outer part of what I'm dealing with may not be as much in my control as I would like. So what I want to make sure that I don't do is allow the outside to totally make me feel like I can't get myself in a better position or to feel better about whatever is going on or not. Sometimes you need to disconnect. And sometimes you're being, too hell bent on it to where you can't force it, or it's not moving fast enough, or it's not going the way that you want. And sometimes you have to just disconnect from it, or walk away from it, or give it a moment, or give it some time, or give yourself some time. And even that is still making your moment count, because you may be realizing or recognizing that you're not moving the needle the way you want it to. But that does not mean that you have to still participate in the resistance of it. So sometimes you have to just back up and allow yourself to find room to enjoy some areas in which you can that allow you to relax more or to feel good about it. So for me, I totally had that kind of day where I needed to kind of get one step ahead on some aspects, and also deal with a few things on another. And as long as you can feel yourself moving through at times, sometimes you just need to feel that level of movement to know that, and I don't necessarily mean always physical, but sometimes you just have to feel like you're moving ahead or moving through some things, or getting your ground with certain things. And sometimes it requires you to do more mental work than you would like. And, sometimes that mental work can drain you physically, and it can cause you to feel like you're, really putting up a fight. It almost feels like you can almost feel it physically. And, I can say for myself that today was one of those days where I just kind of had to remember that I knew that I needed to do this segment. I knew I was going to do my radio segment today. Particularly, I like to kind of get it in the morning, get it up and going. But today it just wasn't that day. But as you can see, I'm still doing it. I'm still making the moments count. My day is still going. My computer, I'm in the studio sitting here, my computer's here in front of me, and I'm, working diligently through the things that have caused me to be pushed back today. So for you, I always say that everyone has their own path and walk of whatever they're dealing with. But sometimes there's this feeling of, man, am I experiencing this resistance, or am I experiencing not moving forward? And is it coming from my own volition, or is there other things? Sometimes it's just not the time, and it may not even really be totally you, but the things, people, or actions that you may be involved with that may require other people's participation or other people's involvement can cause stagnation, or it can cause things to be sped up. Maybe it's moving faster than what you want, or maybe it's moving slower than what you want, or maybe it's not moving at all. And even in that, there's something there for you to see. There's something there for you to recognize and to, take note of and to act accordingly. But only you know what that acting accordingly should look like, because you have to figure it out for yourself. Now, for my people who are like, that work with teams, maybe you work in a job that requires teams. I'm a project management background. So if you're, working in project management perspectives, or if you're working in, maybe in partnerships or something like that, or collaborations, and understand exactly what I'm saying, because there's times when you're working on projects, you're working on things that it may require other people's input. It may require other people's actions and activities. And so you can only go so far, and then you have to await for those other counterparts to take action, or to step up and do their part. Or you may need to get, some response from the other party, or feedback, or participation. And, when you're dealing with those kind of actions, again, make every moment count. Whatever part that you play, try to make sure that you're stepping into whatever it is you need to do and following through. And or if you find yourself in a space or a place where maybe your part or your participation is not being received, or it's not being given the support that it needs, or it's not being given the attention that it deserves, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on where you feel like you need to be. But understand where you are in it. Don't lose sight of yourself. I think that's also important, to not lose sight of yourself and not to be so discombobulated that you miss your mark, or you miss where your contribution could matter. And then there's times, like I was reading one of my Facebook friends' posts earlier today, that was posted earlier this morning, about a decision to do away with a project. And in her post, she spoke on how, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a person that's in the creative realm, being responsible for something that required a lot of different people, a lot of different working parts, to the point that she had some conflicts with other things that were pulling at her, and this particular project conflicted with whatever other prior commitments that were happening with her. And so she had to make a decision, and she held on, make a decision longer than she knew that she should have, maybe put a stop to certain parts of the project earlier on, but she didn't. And I've been in that position more than I like to admit, where you may have to, you might be looking at a situation that is not necessarily going or is happening, and especially if you're part of the organization of it, and you see the bigger picture of the parts that it's not coming together, or you need to make a decision and maybe stop. And I've been there. And sometimes, I think one of her statements was trust your gut. And, understanding that at times you have to make certain decisions that may not be in alignment with everybody. And it may not be what you desire it to be, because it's not ultimately going to come out the way you want. You may not, like in this case, she couldn't even follow through on it. She couldn't do it at that time. And she had the tough decision to say, okay, guys, we're going to have to just completely not do this right now. And there was people that were tied in, contracts signed, people in a line committed to the project, but she couldn't do it at that time. She really had to put a pause to it. Doesn't mean that she's not going to do it, but at this time she couldn't do it. And so in that, you'll have people, places, and things that are all wrapped into this thing, right? In a lot of times the relationships or the interactions between people, communication and stuff like that, it may not come out the way you want. And in her case, she was like, I had friendships and business relationships that were kind of, compromised, and some were lost, some were disappointed. And of course, you as the person that's behind that decision is automatically disappointed, because you're trying to keep everybody involved. You're giving notice, but you're also trying to keep everybody involved with communication. And you're, just saying, look, I can't follow through on this because there's other things that are compromising the project to go forward, or I'm overcommitted. And in this case, my associate friend here had overcommitments that did not allow her to be able to keep these things on task. And I could read and feel every bit of her statements and every bit of her, her position in that. And funny thing is, even for me today, I had to have a discussion with someone myself in reference to something that we're working on, And I had to say, look, I'm checking in and just kind of want to give you, give you fast speed ahead understanding of what's been kind of going on. I got other parties involved that are not necessarily doing the things that they need to do, or things are not going the way in which I would like them to go. So this is where my position is. And so I think today it allowed me to, by reading her statement and also dealing with my own interactions and engagement myself, it gave me another level of saying that, hey, this is not just, this happens way more than you realize. And I'm not saying that I don't realize that, but just sometimes you have to make a recollection and remember, or look outside of yourself and say, hey, here's someone, same thing, saying, look, I got something going on here and I had to make a different decision, or, I was disappointed because I couldn't get this done. But even in that, she still had the ability to say that I have to make everything make sense, and I'm making this moment count. And even in the decision, she made the moment count. She recognized the importance of letting all who were involved to know, look, we're going to have to take a pause here. And it gives opportunity for people that have to adjust, and they may not be happy, but at least you're taking the step to say, I'm communicating with you because this is what it is. And unfortunately, because this is what it is, this is what I have to do right now. And I could appreciate that. I could respect that, even for me, I think I've had many times when I've had those gut checks, and you've had things that have just told you right then and there in your gut. And I know that I've always been this very optimistic person, and I really try to see things through. I really try to, go with the best aspect of approach and the best attitude towards things as much as possible. Sometimes you just gotta cut a loss or stop or disconnect something because there's resistance, or there's something that is just not allowing it to go in the way in which it needs to. And it still takes a lot of courage to even admit that. It takes a lot of courage to be able to say, yo, we need to do this differently. Involving the people and communicating with the people that something is not where you want it to be is commendable. And I think that you're recognizing your time and their time and everybody else's time involved and how important it is. And guys, when I tell you, we're just at a day and age where you do really need to take note of, people's time and people's participation. And even if it may not be in the favorable sense from your position, you're still recognizing how important it is to to step up and say, look, this moment does count in so many ways, but we just need to make a different decision in it. It's still giving an admirable response to people's time and making it just as important on the other side, because there's nothing worse than to have people committed or expectations are a certain place, and you can't come through to what the expectation level is. And, I don't know if I've ever really admitted this, but I'm probably one of those people that have a level of perfection issues that can make me feel almost like I'm procrastinating. But a lot of times I'm working towards what I seem to feel like is a level of perfecting whatever it is that I'm trying to aim to do. And sometimes you just got to push it out and get it rolling. I've learned that in my own walk. And it sounds like sometimes I'm hearing myself remind myself that it does not always have to be that way. But you want to do what you can do in your best sense of yourself. And so one of my biggest things I think that I've always have held notion about was time, and recognizing how valuable time is in so many ways. There's, time can change the dynamics of so many things because of it working in your favor. Even when we're not deserving at times, Time can be graceful. It can give us grace and mercy in instances when we don't deserve, that time and mercy. So I really just appreciate the factor that we're in this time and space where people are speaking up and having their moments of transparency and saying that, this may be an area that I'm working on. I may be weak in this area, but I'm working to improve this area. So it's something that I'm actively bringing attention and focus to. And so this Monday motivation, in a sense, is honing in how important it is for us to make every moment count. And I think, we're at a time and space where we're seeing things moving so fast that you cannot not acknowledge it. You cannot not respect it. You could, but you'll feel the wrath of it if you don't. And I think that just as we're moving along in life, as you're doing things, if you're excelling in the patterns and the steps of your life, you're going to be challenged with things that are going to, put you in a gridlock at times, and it's going to make you have to make certain decisions. And sometimes you don't have a lot of time to make those decisions. And in that, you try to do the best you can. You try to make the best decisions you can. You try to make the best actions that you can. And so for those who are actively experiencing that, working through that, I commend you on taking those steps to believe in what you're doing and making sure that you fully are present in doing it and making every moment of it count. So, guys, I'm going to wrap up this segment today. I've talked more than enough. I gave y'all a hot 30 today, just about. And I really, 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 really appreciate having the opportunity to talk through today, because today was really a active work through it for myself. And you'll be surprised, man. I know a lot of people are starting to check into podcasts, and a lot of people are excited about the possibilities of it. But it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot to come up with your subjective matters of content. Sometimes just getting still to get it done can be task daunting. But most importantly, I try to always give substance to whatever it is that I'm speaking on. And most times, it has a deeper level of essence that I wanted to cross over and transcend to all those who are able to hear it. So wherever you're coming from, wherever you're doing, whatever you're about, I wish you much success in your endeavors and however, challenges you're working through. I know you'll see the other side and come out on the other side and ultimately achieve whatever it is that you desire. So this is Sonny. I'm checking out with y'all today. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic work week already. It's Monday. Hopefully your Monday has been strong and started your week off in a good pace and a good synergy and a good energy. Take advantage of this full moon. There's a new moon that's coming right on the horizon tomorrow. Many times, many people are celebrating this time period of change and transition. So again, like today's segment, make it count, make the moment count. Cast away all of the things that are not in favorable position or energy for you, and to really focus in on the things that you desire of yourself and around you. Let's create the spaces that we want to be in. All right, y'all. Let's make it a good one. Love and light.
Eli's Handyman Service is proudly serving the Inland Empire for all your handyman needs. Whether you're in need of furniture assembly, general construction or repairs, remodeling, drywall installation, new tile flooring work, plumbing fixture installation, interior or exterior painting, TV mounting, and more, contact Eli at 323-286-8435 for all your handyman needs. Available 6 days a week. Don't forget to let them know that you heard them on LouddMouth Radio.
Cynthia Sweet Treats, located at 1259 South State Street in Hemet. We are located in the Diamond Valley Shopping Center. Come in and enjoy some puff pastries, custom cakes, cupcakes, mini desserts, handmade pastries, fresh breads, cookies, and event catering. Our hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4 p.m., Saturdays, 8:30 to 3 p.m., and Sundays we are closed. If you have any questions, go ahead and call the store, which is 951-282-3237. You can also find our website at cynthiasweettreats.co.
My name is Juan Martinez. I'm the president and owner of J&I Heating and Air Conditioning, located in Hemet, California. With over 15 years in the trade and working for a nationwide HVAC company, J&I is your one-stop shop for all your heating and air conditioning needs. We proudly service all Hemet, San Jacinto, Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee, Sun City, Paris, Winchester, Lake Elsinore, Wildomar, and more. We are a family-owned and operated business with one goal in mind, and that is to be around for generations to come. Naming J&I after my sons Joshua and Isaac was my way of showing my community that I just don't want your business. I want to create a long-term relationship with our customers and to be around when our services are needed, now or even 10 to 30 years from now. Your air conditioner and furnace have a very important job, and that is to keep you and your family comfortable indoors. When your heating and air conditioning system breaks down, it can be expensive and frustrating. At J&I, our team takes the frustration out of the repair, installation, and maintenance process to bring you peace of mind. Our services include heating and air conditioning installation, maintenance, and repairs for both residential and commercial properties. We also provide a free in-home consultation on upgrading or replacing your existing heating and air conditioning system. We make it our top priority to provide our customers with honest and affordable repairs in a timely manner.
My name is Judy Nadler, and I'm a customer of J&I. They put in AC for me, so if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have any. They have very good people that work for them. They're very polite, and they're very nice and neat, and I really, really like them a lot.
If you need any heating and air conditioning services or a second opinion, contact us today. We look forward to providing you with the very best quality and customer service you deserve.
Las Mariatos Seafood and Entertainment is a 13,000 square foot of restaurant and colorful entertainment space located at 2241 West Esplanade in the heart of San Jacinto, California. Las Mariatos is a must-see restaurant specializing in the best of Mexico cuisine with its flavors, aromas, colors, traditions, and bright wall display and art. Stop in 7 days a week and enjoy fresh and tasty seafood made to order that's quickly prepared for you to have a fantastic dining experience. Stay after dinner and wind down with a variety of entertainment, live music, DJs, and more. Connect and follow on Facebook, Instagram, or call for reservations at 951-654-8558.